What is up? It is time for tea. I'm excited for today's tea. We're in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, and we're going to be at verse 16. This tea is still in our series of vision, our vision series where you are focused on the call, the assignment that God is giving you, and your tunnel vision. You're going after it. You're not looking back. You're not doubting yourself, but you're getting things done. You are busy doing the work in the Lord. So let's get into the word. We're going to start at verse 16. It says, "From that day on, half of my men did the work, while the other half held spears, shields, bows, and armor." Let's freeze right there, because at this point in the book, Nehemiah and his counterparts, his company, are building a wall. And let me put a little stamp on it. God did not tell Nehemiah to build this wall. Nehemiah heard about it. He saw a need and he wanted to fulfill it. He prayed and asked God to bless it. So anytime you see a need that is going to advance the kingdom, that's going to serve another person, fulfill it. That's exactly what he did. He didn't wait for the Lord to say, "Hey, go over there and build this wall and do this and do this." He didn't wait on the Lord to go to. He said, "You see the need, fulfill it." That's what Nehemiah did. And so at this point, he got some enemies that are after him, and they fed up with it. They like, who y'all think y'all is coming up here and build this wall, yada, yada, yada. But Nehemiah and his company, they're saying, "I'm going forth anyway." He says one group of people worked and the other people were holding their weapons, had the weapons, protecting them from the enemies. Let's go. And then it says down in 17, the laborers who carried the loads worked with one hand and held a weapon with the other. Each of the builders had his sword strapped around his waist while they were building. So they didn't stop to sulk. They didn't stop. It says they held their bows and they had their weapons around their waist while they were working. Come on, I know that you're encouraged by this. Then verse 21 says, "So we continued the work while half of the men were holding spears from daybreak until the stars came out." Then we go down to 22. "At that time, I also said to the people, let everyone and his servants spend the night inside Jerusalem so that they can stand guard." Holy Spirit says, stand guard to the assignment that the Lord has given you, or the need that you are working towards fulfilling in the name of the Lord. Stand guard by night and work by day. "And I, my brothers, my servants, and the men of the guard with me never took our clothes off. Each carried his weapon even when washing." So my man said, "I'm on guard 24/7 because the need that I see for these people in Jerusalem, for my people in Jerusalem, is so great that it has to be accomplished by any means necessary." The need that you saw fit to fulfill using the gifts and the skills that God has given you is necessary to guard by any means necessary. So you got your assignment in one hand, your sword around your waist, and you will not be distracted from what God has for you to do. You will not be distracted. You will go forward. You will work anyway in the face of your adversaries. You will be productive. You will fulfill the calling on your life. You will, and notice Nehemiah wasn't doing this alone. You shall not be alone. You shall have a team to support the vision that are going to work alongside of you. Let there be no more lack. Let there be no more doubt in your mind and your spirit towards what God has called you to do. But you're going to go forth and not be distracted. You're going to stay tunnel vision on what God has for you to do, regardless if your enemies are a mile behind you or 2 feet behind you. Assignment in one hand, weapon around your waist. You will not be distracted.